Slowly, the warm waters of sleep dissolved my thoughts, and I began to drift off. There is a world of mystery and timelessness in that twilight between the conscious and the subconscious, in that quiet, undefined zone between wakefulness and dreams. At first, I could not make out what the sound could be. The pounding approached until it seemed nearly upon me, and then suddenly stopped. Only an animal's snorting and heavy breathing could still be heard somewhere close by, very close, in the darkness. I felt the eerie chill of goosebumps, and that clammy sensation you get when you realize that you're not alone in some dark and solitary place, and know you're being watched by unseen eyes. I turned my head in the direction of the noise, but saw nothing save the dark shadows of my own room. My imagination must be feeding me misleading information. Could there be anything or anyone there? For I live on the 4th floor of the building. "Show yourself!" I called out somewhat hesitantly. "What is it that you want with me?" Then, before my eyes, the darkened wall of my room receded like frost on a window pane, revealing what appeared to be a passageway or tunnel-like entrance leading off to another place, coexistent to my own. This other world, however, was vastly different from the world I'd visited in my previous adventure. This world was darker, fraught with fears and hidden perils. In short, it gave me a feeling of utter dread to behold. Alien and foreboding as it initially appeared to be, there was something hauntingly familiar about it. It was as though some part of me had always known this place existed. Perhaps I had seen it somewhere in my dreams, or the inner eye of my subconscious had caught a glimpse of it somehow, somewhere. The whole experience was like discovering a secret passage in your own home, a hidden stairwell leading off into the darkness. But this portal, I feared, did not lead to a world of flesh and blood beings. It led to a world of spirits. Of what kind and nature, I hesitated to imagine, but the knot in my gut told me they were most certainly not all good. I do not remember when or how I got out of bed. I just seemed to be instantly up and making my way toward this darkened entrance, drawn by a great curiosity to at least peer into this foreboding realm. Trembling, I cautiously approached the entrance, wondering what dreaded spectre or creature was there, waiting for me in those murky shadows. Was this one of the dread horsemen of the apocalypse? As the dark mist dissipated, there, standing before me, was a very large horse, blacker than the night itself, its breath bursting from its nostrils. On his back was a mysterious, shadowy figure. My heart pounded as I approached. Was this the death angel come for me? I had never imagined that my end would be as dark and dismal as this. I expected that the dark rider would suddenly raise an unseen sickle and sever my spirit from my body. I had hoped that my death would have been a more joyful occasion, more along the lines of entering a tunnel of light and seeing dear friends and departed loved ones and angels coming to get me and take me home to heaven. I had not expected to have to face a solitary, dark rider at the doors of what seemed like the entrance to hell. If this was indeed death come for me, it was not at all as I had anticipated. I broke the silence. "Am I to die?" "Not yet," came the cryptic reply from the shadowy figure in a voice that sounded surprisingly youthful. Feeling a little more encouraged, I stepped forward, approaching the dark spectre, a bit surprised by my own boldness in what obviously was a rather serious situation. Still, other than the oddity of it all, I did not feel any real sense of immediate danger. If this creature meant to do me harm, I most certainly would already be dead, or at least in a terrible fight for my life.